So as you can see, it is drying. It's air dried clay, and it's producing a pretty good stone effect. It was from Hobbycraft, and it's called air dry clay stone effect. And as you can see, I put it in the sun here, and it's doing it much quicker than where it was doing before. Although yesterday already, this eyelash was already becoming a bit white, but now the whole thing's becoming white in just a few hours, really. So, yeah, the reason it took around about 3 or 4 hours is because you know, I redid it from what I wasn't happy with. So if you just redo it, then you know, the actual making of it though doesn't take more than about half an hour. But because I redid it and remade the whole thing at various times, it of course took you know, 2 or 3 or 4 hours. But the actual making of it, once you've got the idea in your head, and once you're actually happy with what you're doing, then that just takes half an hour or so. But it does take a long time to work with it and to be happy with what you're making. I'm quite happy with that. Of course, the head's much too big, really, but it works for some reason. So I'm happy with it like that. You know, it's this part is very realistic. You know, but then that's actually what the what my wife looks like, the nose, and when she talks. So if I had actually carried on the head with the line where the eyebrow is, if that had been more or less the top of the head, that eyebrow here, then it would could have been a realistic head if I'd done it properly. If I'd done it, you know, and that carried on that line around there. But as it is, I've done it all the way up there, so she doesn't have such a big sort of forehead, and yet I quite like it. I quite like the way it's in any case, I might not have been able to do it with a small, realistically sized head, you know, because you're playing around with so much other things, like the way it weighs, whether it's going to stand up, and all the rest of it. So I'm, you know, I wouldn't have wanted it to have been realistic that much. I can't bear realistic, I don't like realistic art. For me, that's not of any interest. So if it's exaggerated, then that's all to the good, really. And yeah, it's drying nicely. It looks much better, I think, than when it was grey. I like these cracks. The cracks were already there, but now they're you know, I think make it look like a really old sort of like a statue head or something. So as you can see that air drying. It was much quicker in the sun, in the direct sun. It's a very sunny day. So I really recommend this air drying clay, and then you haven't got to bother about the oven, and it's relatively easy to work with. I didn't use any of the tools, which I had a look on YouTube at how sculptors, like professional sculptors, do it. They got all these sorts of different knives and blades, but I just used a kitchen knife and and some water. But to do it properly, there's some excellent tutorials on YouTube, done with normal clay though, not with this kind of clay. Normal clay and water. Anyway, that's just to show you the final. I'd maybe do one more video of it when it's totally dried. Okay. And it's drying nicely.